$10.4 million getting ready to hit the streets. This is HSD. HSD made an announcement this morning. City announces $10.4 million to community organizations focused on BIPOC safety. And I got this from City of Seattle.
Yeah.
All right. So there was $10.4 million. This all goes back to the mayor's $100 million, right? The mayor's $100 million pledge. And basically 30 went to this task force that we talked about that's at city council right now, this ECI. 30 Morales has, that was Black Brilliance and its participatory budgeting. Another 30 was OPCD, and I don't think those RFPs are out yet. They might be. And then 10 was HSD, Human Services, for grants and funding for organizations that can increase public safety, right? And reduce the need to have to call 911. So it was $10.4 million. And intended outcomes, the community organizations focus and work include several community safety strategies. The RFP was designed to promote community-led solutions, allowing community members and agencies to define safety investments. So basically, they put out RFPs, said, man, how are you going to make the community safer? What are some of the things that you can do? $10.4 million out the door. And let's see, funded activities here. 33 organizations will be awarded funding through the RFP. Funding awards will range between, so this is the money part right here, so you guys listen. 33 organizations will be awarded funding through the RFP. Funding awards will range between $123,000 and $585,000 per organization. The funded organizations span a range of services and focus areas, with some agencies receiving city funds for the first time and other programs expanding services. HSD received over 70 applications, totaling $40 million in requested funds. Many proposals also align with other City of Seattle programs and investments focused on food security, education, homelessness, and reentry. Now, here are some of the organizations that got either between $123,000 and $585,000. See here, the Academy for Creating Excellence, the Washington Therapy Fund Foundation. Is that Ashley?
That is Ashley, yeah.
Ashley McGirt. African Community Housing and Development, Africa Town Community Land Trust, Surge Reproductive Justice, Somali Family Safety Task Force, Sexual Violence Law Center, Seattle Neighborhood Group, Rainier Beach Action Coalition, POCAN, People of Color Against AIDS Network. That was one of our favorites. Plus Positively, LLC, Mother Nation, Korean Community Services, King County Equity Now, Fresh Start, Freedom Project, Fathers and Sons Together, that's FAST, Evergreen Treatment Services, REACH, this is part of REACH, Empowering Youth and Families Outreach, East African Community Services, Creative Justice, Consejo Counseling and Referral Services, Community Passageways, Choose 180, Community Leaders Roundtable of Seattle, the Chief Seattle Club, Black Star Line, Arms Around You, and API Chaya. So 33 organizations here that basically break up that $10.4 million. We'll put this, and we'll have Ike Eberhardt put this up on the website. We'll tweet this out here in a little bit with this list so everybody can see. And like I said, ranging from $123,000 to $585,000 to increase public safety in our neighborhood. So ladies and gentlemen, this money is now gone, 10 million of it. It's now gone from whatever the mayor was talking about. This $100 million is gone to city council, it's gone to vote, it's gone to a department, which is HSD, and all those people held that accountability hot potato. This money now goes into the community. So that means our community members are responsible on this $10.4 million to deliver on what they promised.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly why it's important for us to follow the money. I love hearing that list and recognizing so many amazing organizations that are there, because honestly, these guys have been doing the work. They have actually outlined different models around what safety looks like. You know, we had folks here right here on Converge Media on the Morning Update Show talking about treating the whole person. Several folks have said this, and it's really important because we have now been able to say, look, through all of the organizing on the streets, through all of the protesting and the energy there, that now we have folks that have said, well, look, we fought hard for this money. It's going into the agencies that can really wield those strategies and those models in a way that they've been doing. They've probably been doing it way stretched capacity thin. So honestly, this is so much of an important part of the process, how all of that activism and protesting, how it merges itself to really having some real solutions on the ground. This is really exciting. I'm really, looking forward to how all of these organizations deal with the strategies and the approaches that they have, because they're really connected to the streets, Omari. They're connected to community, and that's really what this is about, because we need to see those solutions now.
Yep. And, me being objective and everything else is definitely everybody's connected to community, but will everybody be accountable to community? Because now here comes, like I said, here comes the funds. And, we keep the eye on the mayor, keep the eye on the city council, keep the eye on the director of HSD, and now we need to keep the eye on each other. We need to hold each other accountable. A lot of us know these directors at these programs and everything else. Let's make sure they're delivering, right? People said they need resources. They could probably always use more, but, resources are coming. So now you, our citizen stakeholders, especially the ones that live in our communities, especially the ones that most impacted where these funds are going, is just like, and you can't take your eye off the ball now. Now it's like, okay, this money is coming out. It's going to be another at least $30 million that comes out before the end of the year. And we need to make sure that things are happening that are supposed to happen. I don't have any doubts, but, in one side, but professionally, I'm supposed to have doubts. This is what I'm here for, is to follow up on things and everything else. And so, we'll see what happens. But, some pretty impressive list of names that I've heard here before and some that I haven't.
Yeah, and that's really my point there is, you're right. We got to follow the money. We got to follow it through. And again, understanding some of the work of some of those organizations, I can say that I'm excited because I've seen that they have approaches and models and strategies that work. So the fact that this money can then be injected into those organizations to scale those strategies up, that's really exciting. But I also think too, when we talk about, what it looks like for us to be doing, maximizing public safety, so much of this is about the fact that we are seeing a real surge of gun violence here in our city and throughout our county. And it's important for us to have the opportunity for folks that have been there also be wielding the solutions to what it's going to look like to change these things. I'm always saying what Gurmai said, like, we really need to inject this and see it as a public health crisis and look at it from that perspective. So I'm really hoping that this injection of funds is going to lead towards some of that.
I'll say this, and I know we got to go to break because we got Jay West out there, is that, like, we kept our eye on this. And really, to be honest with everything, actually probably except for the participatory budgeting, that money, it's just on a different timeline. But, a lot of this money, we're going to see it actually hit the streets here probably before the end of the year. And it's just important, it's important that people see how government works and how government doesn't work and everything else. So, really good thing. We're definitely going to keep following the money. And I saw, a great comment in there from, I think it's Jean Lamont, like, hey, why don't you invite all 33 onto the show? It's like, yeah, over some, over a time span, but, definitely open to that. And if you're out there and you're one of these recipients, one of the 33 recipients that broke up this total $10.4 million that Human Services Department has awarded to the community, and you want to come on the Morning Update Show and tell our community what it is that you plan to do with those funds and how it's going to impact the community and make it safer, you're always welcome right here on the Morning Update Show. We'd love to hear from you.